Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Movie Club UK. This is season 1, episode 6, and I'm here with the greatest co-hosts in the world, Ash and Fahiz. How you doing, people? It's been a bit of a break.
It's been a while. This just feels like a reunion. I did see you guys like 2 days ago,
Yeah,
but this feels like a reunion.
It has been like does feel like a reunion. Actually, like coming in, I was like, yes, our studio, our place. Let's get to business.
Man,
so
it's good to be back. I missed you guys, man.
yeah,
I know the people missed us too.
I know
We're
they
back
did.
in business.
You guys were expecting a review last week, Friday. I should have explained that we delayed it because certain people have holidays and more important things to do.
I know for his.
What?
Come on.
I'm innocent.
They have more important things to do than shoot. So yeah, we are delayed, but we are back and we'll be consistent from now on. Today we are reviewing the Boogeyman.
Yeah.
We're reviewing the Boogeyman. So it's our first horror. We actually saw this film together for the first time. All our reviews before, we've watched them individually. This is the first one where we actually collectively supported each other for a horror. So yeah, we're gonna get into it today. You can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We've just recently hit 100 subscribers.
Woo!
So yeah, big up everyone for that. Thanks so much for the support. We see all the support and we appreciate it so much. We will be doing a giveaway to celebrate 100 subscribers. So just please look out on our social media as we'll give you more information on the giveaway. So yeah, Ash, we are back again with our Ash Breakers. What do you got for us?
Breakers.
Ash Breakers.
The jingles, they just don't get better.
Nah.
So, horror movie. Simple question. What was you guys afraid of as a kid?
Afraid?
I mean, it's a hard one. I gotta think. I mean, after
I was a little scaredy cat. I was scared of everything, but I'm trying to think of like, what was I actually scared of?
like, after watching a film, the horror film, or just in general.
Did you not have one fear? Some people have dentists,
Oh,
clowns.
You know what?
I have one.
Go on.
Go,
Go on.
you go.
No, you go.
Michael Jackson.
God.
Oh,
damn.
okay, no.
Did-
You know,
That
I
is-
hear it. I hear it.
I hear it. I wasn't personally, but I hear it. If I was
Yeah.
to see him in real life, I know my younger self would have
Yeah.
been like, huh? Like
Yeah.
that kind of thing in real life. So I hear Michael
I would
Jackson.
say when I was younger, I was definitely scared of dogs.
Okay.
I'm not scared of dogs now,
Yeah.
but I think what got me scared was, I remember, you know them racing dogs?
Yeah.
Them dogs are fast, man.
Yeah.
I remember barking at it. It was on the other side of the park, and I was with my friend. We were about like, his name was Salah. We were like, I don't know, like 7, 8.
Mm.
We were barking at the dog, and the dog started running.
They looked
towards
at your
us. You know, like,
direction.
because it was so far away, I was like, nah, that's nothing, innit? Bro, I turned around the second time, the dog was so close. I started running for my life. And this guy, what he done, this is why I have PTSD when it comes to dogs sometimes, because he literally closed the gate in front of me, bro. And I had to
What, your friend?
Yeah, I had to jump over the gate.
Oh, because he was trying to run for himself.
Yeah.
So he locked you in there?
He locked the gate, and I was like, "Oh my days, I need to get in."
Yeah.
So I just flipped over into the thing.
And you probably landed on the floor like
Oh,
on
of
the
course,
other
it
side.
hurt, man. It
Nah.
hurt.
I think for me it would be Nigerian movies.
Right.
Nigerian
I gotta
movies.
Very
give you that.
specific.
When they used to play like the music, like, you know, the piano. Yeah, get me out of that room now. Get me out of that room. I don't want to see what's coming on the screen. I don't want to see auntie poisoning uncle. I don't want to see nothing. Just get me away. So I was definitely scared of that. What about
Okay,
you?
cool. Mine's
Michael
Michael
Jackson,
Jackson.
yeah.
Yeah, I watched the Thriller video. I think like
It's
my
always the- it's always
cousins
the
or
Thriller
my
video, you
siblings,
know.
they used to terrorize us
Mm.
with the Thriller video, and then I think just naturally developed a fear of him as a kid.
Yeah,
Wouldn't listen to
I
him.
don't blame you.
Okay, so I also wanted to ask, like, do you guys have a favorite horror film of recent times? Are you guys horror fans? Should I ask?
I think you could tell by this movie that we're not.
No,
I don't
I'm
think
not.
so.
Yeah, I think it's because I'm just older now.
Yeah.
I feel like horror films is more like if you're young, but
It's like theme parks, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like theme parks. The younger you are, the more thrilling. As you get older, it's like we can relax on this
I
a
still
little bit.
like a theme park.
No, I
Okay,
still like a theme
okay.
park as well. But the
Mhm.
the general consensus as people get older, like they don't need their blood pressure raised for no reason. So it's like, yeah, they just do without it. For me, I think one of my favorite ones, I don't think people would agree, but The Purge.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one I liked.
I like The Purge.
that
I
one.
know, like, I think overall, if you look at it, the reviews are not that great. But personally, the concept of The Purge, not that I liked
Yeah.
it because it's a bit realistic, like,
Yeah,
Purge.
yeah.
But yeah, that's probably my favorite
Yeah.
horror film, to be fair.
In preparation for the pod, I was actually like reading this article that was saying that horror films now in the 2010, 2020s, that the concept is like a big deal. So like The Purge,
Yeah.
that's like a big political statement.
Yeah.
I can't remember the next one I was going to say. That's a
Mm.
really good point. But yeah, that horror films, in order to succeed, there needs to be a good concept.
Yeah.
Like A Quiet Place, this
Yeah.
idea of like never making a sound ever.
Yeah.
It's like a big deal.
Yeah. I think is when you can picture yourself as this is not too far off from
Yeah.
being realistic. That's when it gets you. When it's just too fake. It's
Yeah.
just like,
I watched one recently, Smile. Did you guys watch that?
no.
That was really good. That was actually
So you do like horrors?
yeah, I never agreed with you guys. I do actually like horror films. I like
I
watching
thought we were
them
doing
at
this together
home.
because
Yeah,
we
I
don't
thought
normally
we
do
was- I
this.
thought we was a
I
team,
get
like.
scared, but I like watching them at home with someone else. I've got a comfort film. My comfort film is Scream.
A comfort horror.
Yeah, like I don't know
That sounds
why.
crazy.
It
I
gives
don't
What
me
you
know
talking
what's
about? I've
going
never
on
heard
here,
of
man.
that.
What's
What?
going on?
I don't know why. It's like when I'm having like when it's like October, I'm coming home from work, whatever, I want to watch a film, I put on Scream. Don't know why. I've watched it about 7 times. Don't know why. Okay, to finish this off, I made a bit of a list of some common horror movie tropes, like themes, things that happen in a horror movie.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to know if you guys could add to it.
Okay.
So some typical horror movie tropes that happen. So I'll start off. The black or person of color character always dies first.
That's very true.
Yeah.
That's very true.
That is very true.
That's very true.
What you want me to add to it? Yeah.
Yeah.
The main character often has to isolate themselves for whatever reason, like the Scooby Doo days.
Yeah.
Let's split up.
Yeah.
That-
Yeah. I've written that
You got
down.
that there? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Let's
one-
split off is what I've got written down.
One of
I've
mine.
also written down, I'll be right back. When someone says I'll be right back, that
Yeah.
means something's going to
Yeah,
happen.
they're not coming back.
Anything you can think of.
White characters in horror films always go towards the noise.
Yeah.
They always go towards the noise every single time.
What's that?
What is that? They
Yeah.
hear a little thing and they know it's crazy, but they're still going there. I'm just
Yeah.
like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah. Some others I've written down is the car. Whenever they're
Breaking
running away,
down.
the car never starts.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
like, that's
like
never happened to
the
me.
ignition. Yeah.
But somehow, always when they're getting chased, the car's never starting.
Yeah.
I
I got one.
Mm-hmm.
Lights just suddenly not working.
I've written that one down as well.
Just for some
You just
lights are
don't
working
know.
and for no reason.
They're just
It's
They
all
start
out. It's all out.
flickering.
Yeah.
That was the one I was going to say as well.
Oh, is it?
Okay. I've also got characters playing with Ouija boards for no reason.
Ouija boards.
Ouija boards, like just try and summon the dead.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Always
yeah.
in a horror
Yeah.
film,
Yeah.
it's
Bit
never a
bad.
good idea. Why would you do that?
Why would you?
Parents and like your partner, your husband, wife never believe in you.
Yeah,
You'll literally
yeah.
say,
That was gonna.
I've just seen
Yeah.
a killer clown down
Yeah.
the street, and they'll say,
You're stupid.
yeah,
You're dreaming.
Yeah, you need some sleep. You're just tired.
Yeah. Until it gets their ass.
Literally.
And then I've just got creepy children, and
Okay.
the victim always falls down when they're running away. Have you
Oh, of
noticed
course,
that? That's
of
really
course.
annoying.
Of course.
So
They always
real.
fall down, but they'll get back up.
Yeah.
All the time, man.
Any others?
Not really. I think we've covered it. To be fair.
Yeah, sorry, I
I'm
wrote
trying
them
to
down.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have any.
Nah, I think we've covered it there. It's pretty straightforward with
Yeah.
horrors. Like we'll get into it, but there's like a certain, let's say, skeleton for all horrors to have. Like there's just things that have to be on it.
Yeah.
You know, like
of
a
course.
bit of a weird analogy, but there's certain
Yeah.
bones that have to be on the skeleton for a horror film to work. Really.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we covered them all, to be honest. But yeah, that's great. That was good. Some good icebreakers, some good questions. Made me think. Not really hard, but it's one of those ones where you actually have to be like, horrors actually do have these things
All the same.
in them. Even though I
all
don't
the
watch
same,
them
yeah.
like that, you know what to expect.
Yeah, same format a lot of the time.
Yeah. So, I'm going to read a quick synopsis about the Boogeyman. It's not going to ruin it. It's just going to give you like an overview of what this film is about, and then we go from there. So it says, high school student Sadie, her name was Sadie Harper, and her younger sister Sawyer are still reeling from the recent deaths of their mother. They're not getting much support from their father, Will, a therapist who's dealing with his own intense pain. When a desperate patient unexpectedly shows up at their house seeking help, he leaves behind a terrifying supernatural entity that preys on families and feeds on the suffering of its victims. So that was just the overview, the synopsis of it. Now we are actually going to be talking about the Boogeyman. Please, if you haven't watched it and you don't want it to be spoiled, pause it and come back, as this part will contain spoilers. So guys, like we normally do, actually no, let me give us some options.
Oh, okay.
Do we want to talk about the plot first or the characters?
I don't mind like giving like an overview of just how I felt.
Okay, yeah. Overview of how we felt about the plot. Let's go with that.
Yeah.
That's the safest way.
Do you know okay?
Yeah, sure. I might as well. Overall, you know, I mean, it was alright. It was alright. It was alright. I mean, from my experience of watching horrors in the past, even though it's been like a long time,
yeah, me too, man.
It's like nothing really surprised me. I was expecting, you know, like jump scares, you know, the quietness, the tension, all that's the build up and all that stuff, but I wasn't really that engaged with this plot. I'll be honest with you. It was a bit, I mean, I know it's horror, you can't really expect like too much from it, and I say that I feel like my age definitely plays into it, because if I was younger, like maybe my brother's age, this would have definitely been something that I would have liked 100%.
Okay, I thought you would have said you would be more scared.
Yeah, I definitely would have liked it. Obviously liked it, be scared kind of thing, of course, 100%. But I just feel like the way my mind is now, I was watching the film like, this doesn't scare me, kind of thing, innit?
Yeah.
But I think I kind of delved away from the plot a little bit, but the plot in general was decent. The father really annoyed me a lot during this whole plot, only because he was just so, like, he just wasn't trying to listen to Sadie, like, and his and the younger daughter. How do you say her name? Is it Sawyer? Sawyer. So it's like when they're telling him, he's making them seem like they're crazy, but when she went into his office and played that recording off his phone, he admitted that, like, he was telling the truth. You know, he wasn't that. What's his name? Is it?
What, Lester?
Lester. Yeah. Said that Lester wasn't lying. I should have believed you. All that stuff there, because when Lester came to him originally, he thought Lester was a madman. Yeah. He's thinking this guy's not mentally well. All this stuff there. But then obviously when Lester's gone and like hung himself in the closet, it's like he's kind of, I don't know what it is, but he's kind of left like that thing that killed his family was attached to him. So now he's kind of made it attached to like that family now. Yeah. So it was just it was a madness still.
Can I just say, was there actually a plot?
That's what I'm saying. I don't, bro. It was literally just like, go on.
No, you make a good point. It was literally just someone brings something to their house and they have to deal with it, and that was kind of
it was just one big old like movie with no plots and
that's what I'm saying. There was no like
to anything. I think a little side story, by the way. I'm not sure if you saw it because he was late. You know,
I'm not gonna lie. No. Let's stop this. I don't live in West London. Yeah. I live in South. Amanda's telling me that, okay, we're going to View. I said, okay, View. So I'm thinking the View in the Westfield. Yeah, I didn't know there was two Views. Bear in mind, these are the West people.
It said, I said from day dot, Shepherd's Bush.
Shepherd's Bush
View. Shepherd's Bush VUE. Like, he should have known. On his phone, he should have typed in Shepherd's Bush VUE, and it would have navigated him to the right place. But instead, what, you want to defend him?
No, actually, you have to defend me. Come on, it's not my fault.
I understand where he's coming from, because I had to check myself when I had to check myself, and I actually thought it could be Shepherd's Bush Westfield.
Yeah.
However, they're like 10 steps apart.
No, I don't know my way around like that though.
Yeah, he was like, it's going to take me 15, 20 minutes to get there. He went to the one in Westfield, so I was like, no, we're in the Shepherd's Bush one. He's like, it's going to take me 15 minutes, 20 minutes. And I was thinking, it's not going to take 15 minutes, 20 minutes, but yeah, because he didn't know his way, it took a while. So obviously he came in maybe like, was it 5 minutes, 7 maybe?
It was like 10, just under 10 minutes.
Yeah, 10 minutes into the film. So I'm not sure at this point whether you actually saw Lester
and Man chatting.
Yeah, when he initially came into the house, it was just like, no, do you have an appointment, sir?
I saw the bit. I just came in when he was telling the guy, "Oh, you believe me, don't you?"
Yeah.
That's when I've come in, innit? But because I've seen that conversation in the trailer,
I actually feel like that was, to me, that was the scariest part. And that's one thing I realized about horrors and myself, is that I actually find people more scary than like actual creatures and ghosts and stuff like that. I actually find like people a bit off. Like I found it a bit scary as well. I think who was this? He was played by, I've seen this guy before. I've seen Lester in The Dark Knight. He was one of the characters in The Dark Knight with the Joker at the start scene, and he was also Veb in Ant-Man. Oh,
and the new Ant-Man as well. He's the character Veb. He's played by David Dasmashlin. That's how you say his name. So shout out to you. He was really scary, to be honest. His face is just really like,
he looked tortured.
Tortured, uncomfortable, and made me feel like, what does this guy? What does this guy want? And I think it started off okay. I'll give it an okay of how it started off, but as the movie like went on, I didn't see it being a plot at all. I thought it was very predictable. We could predict all the jump scares, and then we could predict when we're going to see something that was really, really scary. Well, they wanted to be scary. It was not actually scary, but I think you was laughing at how I was in the cinema.
Yeah,
but
this guy was all leaning forward, and then I was
leaning forward because this is what I mean by predictable. So I knew a jump scare was about to happen, right? I'm not going to be on the back of my seat, get a jump scare and go like that. So I lean forward, like I put my hands on my face and I prepare myself to see whatever they're gonna check at me, to be honest. So that's what I was doing that. But
I forgot about you. Ash was like this. Ash wasn't trying to see nothing. Like she's trying to cover her face.
I know like a jump scare's coming, but it still gets me. Like the sound design or whatever you would call it, it still is very effective. My initial thoughts on the movie is, the whole movie I was thinking, I feel like I've watched this before, and I know I haven't, but it's a generic horror film that I've probably come across the same kind of plot, if there is one, same sort of characters. That's why I done the trope list, because it's just the same kind of tropes. And I also, my initial thought was, I could have watched this at home on Netflix. And if I did watch it at home on Netflix, I can't say, unless I was literally had nothing else to do, I probably wouldn't have finished it. I probably would have paused it and gone to do
Hence why I think we had to go to the cinema to go and see it, because one, maybe you will, but I wouldn't actually put on a horror at home and sit through it. I think after this, I know we spoke about John Wick and I said maybe action films is not for me. After this, guys, new information, horror films.
I don't think Mudia likes films.
Horror films ain't for me. No, I love films, but you'll see my films. The films that I rate highly, they're very intellectual, sort
animated.
Ignore that. Intellectual sort of films, like, but basic films, like where there's action, there's not much talking, and there's horror where there's not much of a diverse storyline. I just find it really boring. So I get bored. I'm a mind that likes things. I like my mind working and trying to figure things out in movies. If it's plain and simple, I find it really boring. So I think horror after this one is just not for me.
Not it. Like I was sorry.
No, I was just gonna say you could see everything coming.
Yeah, literally. I don't know, man. Like this is why I just don't like watching horrors. I left that cinema with a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah,
like it's just
we didn't talk about it.
We didn't
say nothing to each other.
I was so close to like just going off on it.
Saying what was that?
Like what the hell was this? Like I really could have like been at home, chilling, sleeping. Also, I'm happy I came early because I was really gonna watch it at 10:25 at night in Islington.
This guy was suggesting 10:45 at night. She was asleep. Ash was asleep by like, I don't know what, 9, and I had to wake up, for
That's
her
not what we were supposed to tell people.
But yeah, she did drift off for a minute or two. But he wanted 10:45. There's no way we'd stay up.
I'm happy I did it. There's a problem with the film when I'm looking at my watch more time, checking for the time, thinking for the time. When is it gonna end? Is it nearly 10 o'clock? Is it nearly gonna end? Because I just wasn't really feeling it. I mean, it was a meaty film. It was mid. Like it wasn't great. It wasn't bad. but
I thought
the
it
plot
was
was meaty.
decent, just very generic, derivative, and it was 90 minutes, which is the shortest film we've watched.
Yeah,
so far.
Super Mario was actually 98 minutes.
Oh, okay, cool.
So this one was literally 90 minutes on the dot. So
Yeah.
it was literally an in and out thing in the cinema, and
Yeah.
it just, I wouldn't say it left a bad taste, but very underwhelming for a lot of us. We just said, it's not what we thought it would be. I expected to be more scared. I just thought the plot wasn't given.
It wasn't given.
That's as simple as I can put it. Without actually talking too much about it, I could just say it wasn't given. If we were to speak about the actual Boogeyman, do you guys know what concept it's come from?
I'll be real with you. Isn't it? It's based on a short story.
Yes, it
By
is.
Stephen King.
Yeah.
I read about this.
Yeah, it is. But just what we've heard as children, like the Boogeyman's
The
coming.
Boogeyman. I only know Boogeyman from WWE.
The Boogeyman. Yeah, the one that eats the worms.
worms and that.
Yeah,
That's the only
I
man
know about the Boogeyman. Shout out Boogeyman, WWE.
Come on.
But no,
like the normal myth of the boogeyman.
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it's either to get your kids to go to sleep
yeah.
or get them to behave properly. If they don't behave properly, it's like the Boogeyman's coming to get you.
Yeah.
So that's where it originates from. How we saw it transpire in this film. Did we actually see the Boogeyman?
Do you know what? That's something that I actually thought was kind of clever, maybe, to not
Clever?
show
Clever.
No,
I'm just
because
seeing darkness the whole time.
Darkness the whole time.
Like I see a little something. The only time I saw the Boogeyman like proper was when my girl was dreaming, when Sadie was dreaming.
Oh, when it went in her
And
mouth.
it went in her mouth when we all like, oh my
Yeah,
days.
that one was-
the only mad bit because her mouth was looking crazy.
Yeah,
And I wanted to. I said,
Yeah,
said,
yeah.
no, figure that.
They left showing the Boogeyman until the end, and I feel like had I seen it in the beginning, I wouldn't be as scared or.
I was scared anyway.
Yeah.
I just thought it was a
can
big
you
ass ant, like
Yeah.
running across the ceiling. Spider running across the ceiling. That's literally what I thought it was. I wasn't scared of it one bit. So it was one of those ones where I just expected more. I don't know if I expected a human to actually be the Boogeyman since it has man on it. Was it a human? I don't know.
No, it
We
was
barely
just-
saw it.
Yeah.
And did you realize like the cinema was actually quite dark? Like, did you
Yeah.
realize that? Like,
I did,
we go
yeah.
to
It
other
was
films
very
where it's dark, but we can still see our way up. We had to put on
We
the
struggled to
This
find our
one was
seats.
like the
Black.
torch.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, when I came in, I was standing around like, where am I walking to?
I think they used that to actually enhance the film.
That feeling.
Yeah, I feel they used it to enhance the film where, like Ash said, I think they wanted to be clever and create some sort of mystique around that actual Boogeyman character where you can't really see him properly. He's supposed to be scared of light. So they just wanted everything dark. But for me, that doesn't help because I can't see what you're running from. What's supposed to be scaring me, I can't see it. We just know there's shouting, there's running, and all that kind of stuff. But I was just not really impressed by the plot. It had the typical things. The mean girl that was at school.
Oh, she was annoying.
Yeah.
The mean girl that was at school cussing. What's her
Yeah.
name again?
Sadie.
Sadie. Yeah, cussing Sadie.
Yeah.
Sadie lost her mum in the film, and it was just a typical mean girl in school, just saying, "Oh, you're such a loser," and all that kind of stuff. Like, it was, it wasn't it, man. It just wasn't it. I, if anything, I wanted to punch the girl. Like, I just,
Bro, she was so jarring. She
Ugh.
was so jarring.
Kids are mean. I didn't realize. I said this to you
Yeah.
after the cinema. This is the only thing we spoke about. Is just like, do kids make fun of like?
I hope
serious
not.
topics like grief. And
I
whatnot?
hope not. I know
hope
kids are mean, but I hope not that kids will make fun of somebody grieving. But
I feel like that's just a movie thing.
yeah, a movie
Yeah.
thing, a horror sort of movie, sort of, you
But
know.
you'd be surprised.
You want to make someone be a victim, and you have certain things have to be said to them. If it's a kid, you have to put them in a kid environment, and possibly, you know, she's gonna get bullied by others, so they can say all sorts. But yeah, you could just see everything in this movie coming from a mile away. Everything, you know, whether it was the music that was leading up to scenes, whether it was, let's say, even without the music, the quietness, you just knew something was coming. Lights, typical stuff, lights going off, you knew, oh, what's gonna happen now? Like, there was electricity the whole time, and there was lights the whole time.
And
Out of
That's-
nowhere, it cuts out.
boom.
That's
cuts
my
out.
biggest thing. Is like, did everyone lose the ability to turn on the light switch? If you guys just kept on the light, if you went,
There
to
was one time that
B&Q,
she was in the kitchen. Put on the
put
light.
on the light.
She's opening the fridge to give her a light. Is she alright?
I'm thinking, allow all that, man.
Just turn on the light. It's not like, you know, in some movies, like there's an established power cut.
Yeah.
In this film, there wasn't.
There wasn't.
So you could have turned on the light, but she wasn't doing that. And this creature that you're scared of, is scared of light. You know, I just found it silly and dumb. And there was a scene where she even went to Lester's house.
She went to see, was it Rita? I think her name was Rita Billings.
Yeah, Lester Billings' wife. She went there to find out more answers. Who does that?
You know, when I saw that house here, I said, oh yeah, this one is finished.
And her friend said, don't, like, what are you doing? Like, don't go in. But
You know
obviously it's a horror, so she got to go in. But realistically, would you go in? No.
No. And I just think, what's her name? Her best friend name is, I have it down here as Bethany.
Okay.
How are you going to let her walk like that? I'm not gonna lie to you. You see, if you was walking,
you're pulling
I'm
me out.
dragging you
You're
by your shirt, bro.
You're saying you're
like
mad.
You're my child.
Yeah, you're saying you're mad. You're not going in there.
You're not going in there, bro. There's no
she
way.
was looking for answers.
You know.
Another common movie trope is just like characters making dumb decisions when you know their life is like in danger.
It's a fact that you know it's gonna happen, but when they do, you're like, oh my days, like why are you doing this to yourself?
Yeah, like it was just not interesting in the slightest, and it's like there will be people that love this film. Like I'm gonna hear it from you later because I'm sure there will be good reviews, but guys, save your money.
Yeah, save your money.
Wait for it to come
save
out.
Unless you're new to horror films and you haven't watched one, I would recommend that you should watch this. But yeah, if you're a horror fan and you've watched horror films before, don't even waste your time.
Yeah, don't even waste your time, because I don't think it will have any sort of cultural impact at all. Like we mentioned films like you said Saw, Scream. I know about Saw, Conjuring, The Purge.
Insidious.
These sort of films, Insidious. These sort of films, like they create a sort of like stamp. Like they stamp their authority on what a horror film should be like, and it sets the tone for what horror film should be. This one can easily get missed. Easily get missed, sure. You know. So I'll just say it had zero cultural impact. None of the actors as well. Like I mentioned, Lester, who I've seen in The Dark Knight and who I've seen in Ant-Man. But other than that, I couldn't really recognize any of the other films that the actors have been in. I think they're low-key actors. It was actually produced by a British director, to be honest. Yeah. So it's not. I don't think it had. Actually, we'll talk about it later. I don't expect a budget to be big for this because there weren't stars in the film.
And it was written by the guys who wrote The Quiet Place,
which
I haven't watched, but I've heard is really good.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Cinematography wise, there's nothing really much to touch on because everything was dark. In my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. I couldn't really say anything. I mean, Ash might tell us something different. Go on.
I feel like there's only one scene that stuck out to me, which was with the orb light bulb thing.
Yeah.
Sawyer had. And she dropped it under the bed, and then the camera turned upside down. And that did actually stick in my mind.
Yeah, that was really cool.
I know we didn't see the creature until the end. I feel like that was probably a good idea because I would have lost interest had I seen what it was.
No, like I just feel like you're waiting far too long. Like, why are you waiting like towards?
Why can't we see who he is? Like,
just even if it's just little bits. Like, we're just seeing like shadows of him doing his thing.
That's not horror. It's a thriller. It's literally a thriller. It's not horror. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I think it makes it scarier personally to not know exactly what it is until the end. I think it's
so what I got from it at the end of the day is Lester brought this bad sort of spirit to the house. For what reason, I don't know. Did he target the family in particular? I don't think so.
Remember he said the boogeyman targets the weak and vulnerable. If you remember that.
Yeah.
So, and obviously the younger sister.
Sawyer,
she's a bit vulnerable, isn't it?
Oh, and the older Sadie was quite vulnerable as well. I thought Sadie was more vulnerable than the younger sister.
Even the dad. Like, can we speak about like the dad throughout this film? Like, what did you like actually think of this guy? Because I don't know why he was being so close off with his kids. Like, I guess obviously that's just him dealing with his wife's death.
Yeah, he was played by Chris Messina, by the way. I think that's his name. He's actually in Air, that we was not supposed to watch, but Air is really good apparently. So we will watch it eventually. But he stars in Air as well. But that's the only kind of notable
I know
film
him
I
from
saw.
a sitcom, but that's not important.
It's not important.
Right. I didn't have too much of a problem with the dad. The Billings, what's his name? Lester Billings. He did say that the boogeyman comes for.
Oh no, his name's Will. Was it Will?
Will.
You're talking about Will?
Yeah. No. I'm talking about Lester Billings, the guy that came.
Yeah.
He said that the boogeyman preys on, I think, parents who are neglectful.
And
Yeah.
So I kind of was looking out for neglect.
Yeah.
And I didn't think he was that bad of a dad. He seemed pretty.
I think the
touched
neglect comes from their mother dying
Grief.
and him not being able to cope with that. He thinks work is his way. He's a therapist, right? So his work, he's seeing that as helping other people as a way of escapism, and him doing that, he's forgetting that the daughters are also grieving as well as him, and they might not have the same comfort that he has in his career. They're at school, they're young, they're going through it. Sadie's even getting bullied at school for it. And he's not really there for them. He's just thinking, I think she was even wearing the mother's dress, and he was just like a bit like, oh, why are you wearing that? That sort of thing. He was not really.
He's not getting it.
Nah, he's not supportive. And I think in the film, Sadie was saying that he never listens. This is just on a typical.
So
he never listens. So imagine now when she's trying to tell him about the monster, about the boogeyman, he even asks her,
said,
"Are you high?"
I think she was, but.
Yeah, she was. She was
I mean,
definitely high because she smoked with her friends and stuff, so she was high. But she was very much had a clear mind when she was trying to confirm Sawyer's story of actually seeing the boogeyman. But at that point, Sadie was tired of always speaking to him, so she just, I'm not even gonna waste my breath.
Yeah,
and that's when she kind of went to deal with the issue herself. You know, me personally, I'll go to church and start praying, but she went to physically fight the boogeyman herself. So you know, that's one for the books, I guess.
Yeah, fair enough. I just as well felt like your young daughter is clearly scared. She gets injured in the middle of the movie sometime. Can you
pay attention?
Yeah, pay attention. I feel like I don't know how things work, but I feel like don't let her sleep by herself.
Oh,
maybe.
Of course. Good night and doing all that. If you lot don't all sleep in the same room. Literally, not even based off the boogeyman, right? So Lester Billing, I don't want to say commit suicide, but I think the boogeyman kills him. But to the regular people, he's committed suicide in their house, right? A random man has committed suicide in your house. Why is everybody sleeping in their individual rooms that same night?
Literally, everyone
that makes no sense.
Sleep on the sofa downstairs.
Literally, or sleep in one room, or barricade the door. Yeah. Maybe, obviously, they're small, so I'm not going to say take turns in that. But as a dad, you want to be in the same room as your daughters, right? They were even like everything was calm. Like, good night, guys.
That dad was mentally defeated, man. He just wasn't. You know what it is? I don't think he was ready for that responsibility, being like a single parent. It was too much for him, and he didn't know how to handle his own emotions. And the fact that he couldn't handle his own, he couldn't take care of his kids properly, so it was just a whole mess.
Is it weird that they saw a separate therapist to their dad? Because the dad is a therapist, to be fair. You would think that's more of a reason why. If that's a point. If he could talk to strangers about their problems, why couldn't he sit down and talk to his daughters? They had to seek a therapist.
Did you not realize, bro? He probably needed therapy as well.
Because in the end they did.
It took him until the end. But how many sessions did they probably go to? And he's not there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Doesn't really make any sense.
Yeah,
you know. And that doctor, what's her name? Her name's Lisa Gay Hamilton.
You were laughing. There was one point I think when the room was dark and it was turning red and her face was dark, he was laughing. Everybody else is like thinking what's going on. This guy was fully laughing. I was thinking,
how can you just cover your face and just like
it went all red and stuff.
That killed me. But no, she was good. I can't lie. I liked her a little bit. She made me
I think all the actors did a great job. They did what they needed to do with what they were given.
Yeah, I even think with the budget.
Yeah,
I don't think we've spoken about it.
No, we will speak about it. But what I would say is, even though I'm not too impressed with the film, I would say with what they were given, I was very impressed with Sadie, who was played by Sophie Thatcher. That was her name. I was very impressed with her as the lead. And the younger daughter, her name is Vivian Blair.
Yeah, I liked her as well.
Yeah, she was really good.
Like, I was thinking, this girl is very good at acting. Like when she's in the room, like with the therapist and that, and she's just sitting there like this. I'm thinking, this girl looks like she
got talent.
You know?
So you wouldn't be surprised in 10 years that she makes a name for herself. But other than that, like I said, I don't really want to go into the actors, and then they're not anybody of note. No offense. So there's nothing much to deliberate on that. But yeah, what's the numbers saying for this film?
Right, so you guys are asking about the budget. The budget was 35 million.
Yeah.
In comparison to like the movies we've reviewed, Spider-Man.
This is probably the smallest one.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Spider-Man was 100 million.
Yeah.
John Wick was 100 million.
Yeah.
So you see, and you can tell.
Yeah, you can
smaller
definitely
budget.
tell. Mm-hmm.
Box office so far, it's made 81.8 million.
I don't know how they made that.
I was gonna say when I saw that, I said, how did they manage to do that?
I don't know. I think based off why we went to see it, the Boogeyman, we're expecting something. So,
But I'm surprised because like Insidious come out not long ago, so I'm a bit surprised.
But you know what it is with
this.
the film doesn't have to do. Actually, it does have to do. I was gonna say it doesn't have to do well for it to do well in box office, but it does, because the more people that talk about it, the more people decide to go and see it if they're told it's good. But I think based off the name alone, the Boogeyman, it being a horror, a lot of people were curious about it, so it makes sense for it to make that money.
Another Stephen King as well.
Yeah,
They had that back in.
yeah,
And I just feel like horror in general, like if you are in the mood for it, you will go to whatever.
yeah,
And I don't think a lot of other genres can do that.
yeah.
Opening weekend, it made 12.4 million.
Okay.
And it was released alongside Spider-Man, so it was released on the same day.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Spider-Man
obviously
absolutely
blew it out the
blew out the water compared to it. We're still talking about Spider-Man to this day, by the way. If you have not seen our review on Spider-Man, it will be somewhere on the side or in the recommendations. Please review it, see what you think, see what we think. But yeah, that's the numbers.
That's numbers.
Perfect. Faiz, what's people saying about the film?
What the people are saying, well, I like to do my reviews fair. So I've got 3 different reviews. I've got a 10 out of 10 one. I have a 5 out of 10 one, and I have a 2 out of 10 one.
All right, cool.
So I'm going to tell them, I'm going to say them, let me know.
Just hit us with the best and the worst.
Best and the worst,
Yeah.
okay. So, this one's 10 out of 10. Title is definitely worth the sequel. The Boogeyman is a sensational horror triumph. It stands out with its relentless suspense, captivating you from its eerie beginning to the heart-stopping end. The well-crafted storyline takes unexpected turns, adding depth to the chilling atmosphere. Good performances add credibility to the fear factor, making you root for the characters as they navigate through horrifying predicaments.
Okay.
It's a thrilling cinematic journey that left me sorry. I couldn't believe it when they said that.
What are they talking about?
It's a thrilling cinematic journey that left me hungry for more. Excuse me.
Are we watching the same
Bro,
film?
let me finish. Should a sequel be released is a must watch for me. It's definitely a horror lover's dream, or in this case, a stupendly crafted nightmare.
Okay, what I'll say to that, it said horror lover's dream. Ash, you're a horror lover. So
I call cap.
Horror, I appreciate it. Okay, lover is a big word.
I mean, October on a random day, you're watching a horror. So.
No one looking at me.
Halloween.
Yeah. No one looking at me with a straight face telling me this film's 10 out of 10.
No, it's
way.
like, I feel like anyone who's a horror lover who's actually watched everything, this comes like very much so slap bang in the middle.
In the middle.
In the middle, but I feel like maybe if it was released 10 years ago, when things were getting released on Netflix every week, it would be.
This is definitely Netflix. This is definitely Netflix.
It was actually meant to be released on Hulu, and then
really?
It done really well with test audiences, so they released it theatrically.
Yeah, no, they should have left it on Hulu because it's not a blockbuster in my opinion. It's a mini film, but yeah, like they said, sequel. I think they may be a sequel.
I thought they could be because of the way it ended. I was thinking, could they do something here because the Boogeyman's basically still about.
Yeah. Well, how is he in the? He's in the therapist's closet.
If you remember.
Should I Sadie come here, please? Should I Sadie come here? And then Sadie walked him back into the room, and she was fixated on the closet. What was in there? It looked like the Boogeyman somehow is still alive and was in there. But before she could open it, the ladies asked her, "Is everything all right?" And she said, "Yeah," and left the door. So potentially there could be a sequel.
Potentially. So do you want me to go with the mid one? I think the mid review is more or less how we explained it.
All right, go on.
Do you want me to go for it?
Yeah, let's hear our review, I guess.
They gave it a 5 out of 10. Not horrible, but not particularly engaging. They said, I felt this was a mediocre film. Some of the jump scares in the first half were pretty well done, but when the Boogeyman started to make a real appearance, the wheels came off for me. I think the acting was pretty good, but there was nothing original or special in this film. I feel that it's difficult to make a truly scary movie that sticks with you long after you've left the theatres, which is what I'm very much big on. Yeah. I was hoping the Boogeyman would stick to my bones a bit, but it did not. If you're looking to kill some time with some jump scares, this is an okay flick. If you're looking for something truly frightening and engaging, I don't believe this is it. I'm not gonna lie to you. When I saw that, I said that is essentially how I feel.
That's how I feel
That's
now
how I
as
feel.
well.
Like, it's not good. It's not great. It's not
terrible.
It's not terrible.
It's not anything.
But just don't have high expectations for
Yeah.
it. I think that's what it is, because if your expectations is up here, like mine were, I was brought back down in the end. So.
And I agree. I realized like a good horror film for me is leaving the cinema with like a lasting impression. For example, Get Out. Do we all remember how we felt when we left the cinema after Get Out?
Yeah.
That was like, wow.
Yeah, and also we left quite late as well. One of the reasons why I didn't want to watch it with these guys, like I don't do horrors. I didn't need support. I was thinking, if,
big man with a beard, you know. Look
do
at
you know what? I do need the support, but I left that thinking I can sleep easy tonight. That I didn't even think about it.
I didn't think about it. When
I didn't even think about it at all. A good horror will literally psychologically get you in there where you're trying to go to sleep and you're just like. So what I watched today, you know, it's not real, but you're just.
Yeah. Sleep tonight.
It's just on your mind for a little bit, and it could pop up in a dream or whatever. I've had like a few sleeps since then. Haven't thought about the Boogeyman once. That should just tell you all it is. But yeah, let's hear the last one.
Last one. 2 out of 10. They titled it "Skip It."
What?
Skip it.
Skip it.
Skip it.
You heard that? Skip it.
It's a crazy world we live in. They said, "Skip it. Trust me. I took my 16-year-old because he actually wanted to see it. He liked it. It got his blood pumping. I'm happy for him. It's a good gateway horror for the young or those who aren't fans of horror. If you're a horror fan, stay away. Far, far away. I was extremely bored. The jump scares were just really loud music to make you jump.
Yeah.
I was hoping for more since the girl from Yellow Jackets was in it. The best part of the movie was the little girl from Kenobi. I was just hoping for more.
That might be Sawyer. I don't know.
They said they even updated it as well. They said update. I've read other reviews on the movie now, and it's been out for a few days. I don't know what the heck people are talking about.
Exactly.
The cinematography. It was too dark to see anything. The story was lame. It's been found before. It's been found before. I'm sticking with its okay getaway horror to get kids interested, or for those who don't like traditional horror movies. Yeah, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. If you're giving this anything over like a 6, and I think you'll even be a 9.
I was literally just about to ask
I think
you
you'll even
for
be
your
a 9.
for your rating. What's your rating?
Ash,
Take a breath.
I'm giving it 5.
5.
Yeah.
Fairs. Ash.
So I don't think it was a bad film, which is why I don't think I can do 5. 5 and below to me is like a bad film. So I feel like I'll just go 6 on the dot.
6 on the dot.
Yeah, I think that's generous as well.
Okay,
I feel like you're being too nice.
I'm not. I'm literally gonna go
6.2.
So we got 5, 6, 6.2.
Have you ever heard Ozzy give a whole number like?
Nah, because it's like
a point something.
It has to be a point something because it does because I feel like 6 is basically saying it was kind of 6 could be 7.
That's
6 could be
literally
7.
Not true.
No, but 6 could be 7. It could be 7. I got to show you that it's a 6 and it's not close to a 7. It's closer to more of a 5 than a.
It's a 5-6 film.
Yeah,
I feel like Like
so I think overall, it's gonna give us a 5.7 on this film, and that is our lowest film.
See, and I don't think that's fair because I think Super Mario was.
But that's a true reflection.
I think Super Mario was like worse in terms of film. They were both. I don't know.
I hear what you're saying.
I hear it, man.
But the numbers don't lie. But the numbers, I hear what you're saying, but the numbers don't lie.
No, it's just a tough one, man.
Yeah, I'd say
I really went into this film with like such an open mind because it's been so long since I watched the last film I probably watched was Purge, like yourself. Yeah. And I was thinking, this actually might be good. Maybe Insidious could be better, but for watching Boogeyman, I like this. I was disappointed, man.
Yeah, so I think people are going to see this and completely disagree with us, or they're going to see this and completely agree with us. It's one of the films that is actually going to split opinion, to be real. I don't know how people like it. I generally don't, but it was a decent film. But yeah, that's our official rating, 5.7. So you can see the leaderboard. Let us know what you think in the comments. That's our review done. Our next episode is going to be out on August the 11th, I think, or the week after, August 17th. We'll just work out the cakes. And we're either going to be reviewing Barbie or what's it called? Oppenheimer. I'm saying Oppen.
Is it Oppenheimer? That's how you say it.
Yeah, Oppenheimer. We're going to give you guys a vote so you decide whether you want to see Barbie or Oppenheimer. We're going to put it out there on social media. just let us know. But yeah, thanks guys for tuning in. Thanks for showing love. Take care.
Thanks, guys.
Peace.